No. It's your your fourth feature film, and but I think it's the first one released in the UK, isn't it?
C'est le premier qui a été montré.
And
do you think? Okay,
I think.
I thought it was another, but okay, maybe yes.
Okay. Well, anyway, so this one you wrote with your partner Arthur Harari, and it was released in France last August. Many people have seen it, over 1.2 million people in France. Since then, it's been released in many countries and in the US. So basically, for 6 months, you've just been talking about your film all the time. So I was wondering, is it like, has your relationship to it changed? Do you see it differently? Have you seen it since Cannes?
No. No, I didn't see it since Cannes. It was the last time I've seen my movie. It's so, now it's your object, you know. I think it's your thing, and it's a pleasure, of course, and it's a luxury to have that kind of exposure, you know. So I didn't have that kind of experience before, of course. So I'm so lucky, and we are so lucky to live that. And it's so funny in a way, because when I was in the writing process, we laugh a lot with my co-life writer Arthur Harari. We always said, okay, this movie is gonna make zero spectator. So he was like, okay, prepare, because it's very long and no cast, no famous cast. Maybe it could be complicated for you, so it's funny, of course. No, what I like very much is the fact that people now talking a lot about their life to me. So it's very, yes. I think they identify themselves to the couple, of course.
Yeah, there's a lot about couples, of course. We can all relate to it. But it's I have a question about dogs, because it's your first Palme d'Or, but it's your second Palme d'Or. You already won a Palme d'Or for another film that had courtroom, a bit of courtroom drama, and it was
no, it was just a mention, not the Palme d'Or.
Dalmatian.
The first time.
It was just a mention, sorry. So Dalmatian in Victoria, in bed with Victoria in English. But in both films, there are many elements of narrative and the truth that are revealed by the dog's behavior. And I was wondering why dogs hold so many keys for you to truth and to memory. And I know that a film that you really love, Otto Preminger's Anatomy of a Murder, also has a dog that's really important in the trial.
Yes, you're the first person who mentioned that. You're very clever, because I think you're right, of course. I was very inspired for Victoria with the dog, and of course, yes, it was an homage in a certain way to because in Victoria it's yes, he's really in the courtroom. But it was inspired in a way. C'était inspiré d'un vrai fait divers.
So it was inspired by a real news item in France.
Je pense que effectivement dans ce cas précis, dans Anatomie d'une chute.
So I think in this precise case of Anatomy of Fall,
le chien est vraiment celui qui fait le lien de tous les gens de la famille.
The dog is the one who really links
et probablement
all the
celui
family.
qui sait, en fait.
And probably the one who knows, actually.
Et qui ne peut pas parler.
And who can't speak.
Yeah, he doesn't have the same language, but there are many. I mean, there's many themes. It's difficult. I mean, there are so many questions I could ask, but it's just like the film talks about the truth, about memory, integrity, guilt, gender. But it talks, of course, a lot about relationships. And I was wondering, you just mentioned that you wrote the script with Arthur Harari, who is also your partner in life, and you started at the beginning of lockdown, and so you were both stuck at home together. And I wonder if that's why you chose the topic of a couple. Because it's private, but it's public in the film. It's a trial.
He's alive now, so it's okay. No, I think you know, I know it's crazy, but in a way we are so not conscious about everything when we start the writing process. So never we say to each other, okay, we are going to write a movie about a couple. And okay, so I think it was, you know, I was obsessed, of course, to speak about the truth and and to do a genre movie in my way of doing it, a very personal way. But I think sometimes a genre movie could allows you to be very dark, you know. And si j'avais fait ça d'une façon dans un film plus naturaliste, je pense que juste de rentrer chez les gens et de regarder comment ils vivent.
If I'd done it something in a way more naturalistic, just to go inside people's house and watch what they're doing, how they're living.
Ça aurait été assez, je pense, je sais pas, je pense toujours à ce truc de Cronenberg qui dit ça sur la mouche.
It would have been really like, I always think of Cronenberg saying this quote about the fly.
À plat, c'est quand même quelqu'un qui va mourir et sa femme va le regarder mourir. Et finalement, si c'était pas un film de genre, on aurait du mal finalement.
So there's somebody who's going to die and that you're going to watch die, and if it wasn't a genre movie, you'd have trouble connecting.
Je pense qu'en tout cas, personnellement, j'aurais jamais pu faire un film extrêmement plat de cette façon. Enfin, juste en prenant la main du spectateur en disant venez voir, je vais vous raconter l'histoire de ces gens.
Personally, I could never done something so flat in a way, just taking the genre and
j'ai eu besoin de passer finalement par le langage, parce que c'est vraiment un film sur le langage.
I needed to go through language, because it is a film about language.
Et sur le langage qui serait censé normalement nous aider à nous comprendre, à analyser, à comprendre l'incompréhensible.
And the language that would, in theory, help us to understand the something that you cannot understand.
Et qui en fait est d'une certaine façon soit source de fiction, soit source d'être un peu à côté en fait de la réalité, à côté de toujours un peu en défaite,
fiction, or always a bit out of sync, out of reality.
Un peu en défaite en fait par rapport à la. Voilà.
It's also about the way language or exchanges in a relationship can be interpreted in different contexts. So, I mean, there's this big scene, the pivotal scene of the argument that's played in the flashback, has been recorded. It's an argument between them, and when you see it in a courtroom, it's very different from what happened. One can imagine. But I know you wrote this scene many times, as many as 70 times, I think you said once. But I was wondering what was right in the 70th time. What is it what did it capture?
Je pense que pendant très longtemps, déjà, première chose, c'est que on est quand même, le film joue beaucoup sur est-ce que ça s'est passé, est-ce que ça s'est pas passé. Et tout d'un coup, c'est un document brut qui nous arrive très tard dans le film.
So the film plays a lot with the idea that what happened and what didn't happen, and this is suddenly this raw material that happens and is offered to us quite late in the film.
Et je pense qu'à cet endroit-là, moi et le co-scénariste, on ne pouvait plus se cacher derrière le mystère de je ne sais quoi. C'est l'endroit vraiment où on n'a pas les cartes, quoi. Les cartes sont.
And we had to lay the cards on the table. We couldn't hide behind anything.
On the heart of the movie, on the heart, yes, of the movie. So I think. Yes, in that moment you have a piece of this couple, and I think at the beginning in the writing process I was like, okay, I don't like these people. I don't understand. It's not interesting. I don't like these people. So we have to manage a way to be really interested and moved by them. And I think when we had the idea of the time and the idea of, okay, sorry, I switch in French. L'idée vraiment du temps et l'idée que, est-ce que tu m'as volé ce temps? Qu'est-ce que tu me dois? Qu'est-ce que je te dois?
The idea of time and the worth of time, and did you steal my time? How much time do I actually owe you? What do you owe me? That exchange with time sharing.
Là, je pense qu'on a commencé à bâtir la scène, en fait.
And that's when we started building the scene,
actually. Et je crois que c'est universel. Tous les gens, je pense qu'ici, vous avez tous ressenti un jour l'idée de j'ai perdu mon temps avec cette personne, ou il m'a volé ce temps-là, ou j'en sais rien moi, ce qui est horrible, un peu médiocre, mais de se dire voilà, j'ai éduqué son enfant et finalement il m'a quitté.
So something very universal that we've all experienced, that like I did this, you took my time, you've stolen my time, or I educated this, I brought up this child.
Et tout s'est bâti sur cette question-là, et sur la question aussi que ces deux créateurs, avec cette idée quand même qu'ils veulent faire le même métier, que l'un des deux est frustré.
And all this was constructed around this idea of and two creative people who are doing the same job, the same profession.
Et je pense, pour aller au but, en gros, que l'idée de cette scène, c'était de repousser la pulsion à la fin de la scène. C'est un débat.
Pardon.
C'est un débat d'idées, et c'est un débat d'idées qui est quasiment une répétition de ce qui va se produire au tribunal.
And it really is a sparring with ideas, a fight with ideas, and to push back the impulses to the end of the scene, the instinctive physical impulses.
Mais je pense que déjà, les mots à cet endroit-là de la scène, déjà les mots deviennent une bataille pour le camp de l'un et de l'autre, et ça devient déjà un mini procès en fait à cet endroit-là.
But I think even then the words are already becoming a fight, and it's like a mini trial, just the fight of the words through the words.
She's on trial. Where she's on trial.
Yeah.
Already. Yeah. I think it's a good point. I don't know if anybody has any question that they would like to ask. I can go on, but I suppose. Yeah.
Hi. Thank you. I had a question about the gender construction within the film, because I would say the argument sort of is almost like a traditional role reversal. He is the caregiver, and she is the successful, almost like breadwinner. And I'm interested in the development of that process. How did you come up with it? Because I think as the film goes on, you sort of become less sympathetic to her, because she doesn't recognize his input into her ability to lead the life she's... Anyways, but yeah, thank you.
Okay. It's a question of point of view, I think, because for me she's really sympathetic, but you know, maybe I'm cold and like this, I don't know. But you know, I think in that scene, it's interesting your point of view, because I think, of course, that couple is not so. They are unusual in a way, you know. They are not in the norm, you know. Of course, the women are taking place, much more place than the men, but
yeah, she takes her space. She owns her space.
Thank you. And I think I play with the code, of course, because most of the time is the opposite. And of course, we play with the fact that the man is cooking for her at the beginning, and she's okay, but. You know, I think we are much more tough with women, of course, when they are powerful, you know. We are, yes, je pense qu'on est beaucoup plus difficile, en fait. On a du mal, peut-être, parce qu'on a moins d'exemples, peut-être, dans le cinéma ou dans la représentation.
We find it harder, really,
des femmes qui sont, d'une certaine façon, qui ne sont pas des parfaites victimes.
To accept women who may, in a certain way, not be perfect victims, because we don't have that many examples of accepting the difficulty of accepting a woman who's freer.
Mais pour le coup, ce serait intéressant de savoir ce qu'elle voulait dire, en fait, précisément, par rapport à... en quoi elle lui apparaît de plus en plus antipathique.
So in what way does the character seem to become less and less sympathetic, or you feel less sympathy for her?
Sorry, I'm just going to speak really loudly. My point is that often women's labor in keeping the household going doesn't get recognized.
Travail de la femme souvent qui s'occupe de la maison et qui l'entretient n'est pas reconnu comme un travail.
And in this case, there's the duality of his labor not being recognized, but also her being successful. And
la dualité
in the
que
beginning,
son travail n'est pas reconnu de l'homme, et que elle a du succès.
In the beginning, you root for her because she succeeded, and like
Donc,
that
au début,
coldness is
son
almost
côté.
like it is subversive. But then towards the end, you see what sacrifice it's taken in the family, and that's the duality of it that I find really interesting.
Qu'elle trouve très intéressant, c'est qu'au début, on est vraiment de son côté parce que c'est une femme qui réussit dans sa vie, qui est indépendante. Mais après, on voit comment ça affecte la famille et fait du mal à la famille.
Ah, ok. Ok. I don't agree with this, but it's but it's interesting. It's interesting because, of course, you know, making movies, I think it's not to show the perfect, you know, the I don't want to make movies to say, okay, you have to live like this or like that, you know. But of course, my goal is I failed because I want you to love her at the end, you know, because yeah, but no, it's really interesting because I think you are rude with her because in a way she's not she's not apologize for anything, you know, she's just saying okay. And in the opposite, of course, men are doing this since a long time ago, and okay, many people watch movies with this without thinking a single time that women are in the kitchen and they just have 5 minutes in the movie and just appears and say, "Oh, why do you are leaving, darling? I love you. Oh, why do you have?" And there is no problem. Nobody is talking in a place like this to say, "Oh, why the woman is in the kitchen," and say, you know. So I think we are maybe not so used to see it, but I think okay.
Oh, there are many questions. Yeah.
Bonsoir. J'aimerais que vous nous parliez.
Can you speak in English if
Sure.
you can? Thank you.
Would you mind telling us about the son? Did you find it difficult to build his character and to define how much mystery or how much ambiguity should lie with him?
With the son.
The son, yeah, particularly.
La chanson, the song. Ah ouais,
Moi aussi, j'ai pardon.
C'est mon accent, pardon.
Le fils, qu'il ait autant d'ambiguïté?
Oui,
J'ai pas compris.
J'ai trouvé une part de mystère et d'ambiguïté, et je me demandais est-ce que c'était difficile de construire son personnage pour définir
So
exactement.
he found a certain amount of mystery and ambiguity within the character of the son, and whether it was difficult to work in that way and build this character with the boy.
No, because you know, we wrote a part for a child who are a little like an adult, you know, a little nerd, very, you know, very yes, conscious about everything. And I think Milo was so, you know, because the script, after the script, it's a death thing, the script, so we have to reinvent everything on set. And I think Milo was so involved and so perfect. It was a fairy tale all days with him because he was so happy to do this. So it was extraordinary for me, like as an experience.
First, thank you very much for your movie. I'm very grateful for what you gave us. I really love it. I have a question. I think it's also a little bit about the actor and the actress. How did you work in the process of explaining the actress or the other actors? Or with Sandra, for example, did you tell her, okay, you are not guilty, play as if you were not guilty? Did you tell the dog that she wasn't guilty?
Yes, I you know, just 2 days before the set, Sandra called me and said, "Okay, I'm anxious now. I want to know if she did it or not." And I just said, "Okay, I can't answer to your question, but I just play it like an innocent. Please don't do, you know, the very old-fashioned things that women is playing all the time. Like, okay, I'm doing something, but I'm thinking other things, and you know, duplicities, very old-fashioned things." So I think, you know, I proposed the part to Sandra Hüller because I think she's so transparent, so honest in the real life. You know, she's so. But I think there is a paradox between the part and who she is in the real life, and I think I like the way she's playing because she's not faking things. She's not, you know, making some seduction things with the actors, with the camera. So I like so much this. She insisted before the courtroom to not putting too much makeup on her face, and I was like, yes, it's very clever to do that, because in every fiction movies, you know, women are putting a mask, you know, and it's, for me, it's yes, it would have been very, very old-fashioned in a way to just say, okay, women are so complicated, and you know, sometimes, you know what I mean.
Is there's someone in front here?
Thank you. Merci. J'avais une question. Oh, sorry. I had a question. I'm interested in knowing a bit more about how you worked with the actors. If you rehearsed, if you had a locked script, or if you also left some room for improvisation. Because I feel like the dialogues are very well written, but also very naturalistic in a way. So, yeah, if you could tell us about this.
Yes, I think the script was really, yes, we worked a lot on the script. After I'm doing a storyboard, and it was very, very prepared. But when I'm coming in set, I destroy everything to just, you know, we have to find the life on set. So I'm doing a lot of takes, and yes, I want. Sometimes, you know, when actors are just saying the lines, it's not natural. So I say, okay, it's your part now. You have to eat it. You have to eat everything and to recracher.
Regurgitate, spit it out.
With your way of doing, you know, it's very important for me, of course. And for me, the script is a death thing. So we have to find a way to. And I like so much happy accident, of course, when actors are not a good student, you know. So all the time I said, okay, please don't just do just what I want with written. Sorry. So yes, and of course with children it's different. I'm very, very different with children than with adults. Of course, with children it's another. I like so much because it's much more difficult for me because they are not professional. So I have a lot of, it's different way to find the states, but sometimes it's really, really beautiful when we succeed. And with the dog, of course, it was many anecdotes, very, very funny, of course. And you know, in his eyes, always we are like, okay, it's so absurd. Our life is so absurd. What we are doing now, and say, okay, of course he's looking at the camera, and we can just say, okay, don't look at the camera. No, he's a dog, so. So yes, I like so much when life is overcome to what I prepare. Yeah.
Taking over what I'm doing.
Yes, thank you.
So yeah, we talk about your relation with the actors and with the dogs. I'd like to ask about your relation with the producers who are here. And I wonder if you would like to come and say something about the production of the film before we finish, or not? Yes.
Hello. So my English is very bad, but he's speaking this better than me. And what do you want to know? Said Sandra in the movie.
I was just wondering how you work together, and because
Yes,
you've produced many really, really great films, both of you. So I was wondering what your history is together. I mean,
and she creates everything because we work in a different company. Donc she created this marriage, this couple, and I think we work very well because we won the Palme d'Or, you know.
It was a good couple. Thank you very much.
But David is more serious than me, so he's going to talk very well about production.
It has to be brief, though, but yeah.
Okay. You have to mention that, yes.
Sorry?
En quelques phrases.
You have to be brief.
To be?
Brief.
En quelques phrases.
Bref.
Brief.
One word.
Ok. Maybe. Tu veux que je dise? Non, mais ça s'est bien passé.
Very well.
But it all went well.
Very well indeed.
No, I think we had a few discussions about, of course, the length. The length,
yeah.
C'est compliqué pour moi ce mot. Okay, the length.
The duration.
Duration of the movie, of course, because you know when you produce something now, 2 hours and a half, and I think the producer was so on my side, and it was so. They were so generous to me, and I'm so happy to live that story with them because, you know. It's a cliché to say that you are in the fauteuil and you say, okay, bullshit. But no, it was really, it's so rare because sometimes it's so difficult. Of course, now it's so difficult to produce movies like this. And yes, I think they offered me a great freedom, except for film because I wanted to do it in film. And they said, okay, you are doing too much takes for the budget of the movie. So I said, okay, it would be in digital. But no, I think, yes, it was really beautiful and a lot of discussion about men and women and couple. It was funny because I wrote it with my life partner and we created that marriage, and so it was all, you know, so funny. Okay, sorry, I'm too long. No? Okay. And maybe you want to pee because that film is too long to.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Justine.